Luka Doncic. Really, there's only one word to describe him. And that was exciting. If you watched any of his action this week so far in the Mavericks series against the Clippers, it's been incredible. And topped off last night with just an incredible 43-point buzzer beater game-winning three to even the series at 2 between the Clippers and the Mavericks. And I do want to discuss Luka's ascension because I think he has the tools to rise to a level that we've seen only a few players rise to. And he could take the torch from someone. I want to discuss that in just a second here, but I want to give you the rest of the lineup so far. So Luka's great. Incredible performance last night. I do want to kind of dive into that a little more. But also I kind of want to stick with the NBA because an interesting article came out last week by Ethan Strauss of The Athletic. And he detailed the NBA ratings. And he detailed not just this year at the ratings, not just the last calendar year at the ratings. He's gone back the last 8 years, going back to the 2011-2012 season. And the numbers are very low, and they are staggeringly low. So I want to ask the question, is the NBA, in your mind, still nationally relevant? Right? We know the NFL is the most nationally relevant sport in the country. Baseball had that for a while. Hockey, for the most part, has always been kind of contained to whatever market you're in. If you're in a market that has a team that's passionate about it, for the most part, that's where the most interest is drawn in that local market to your local team. But we always kind of put the NBA up there with the NFL. Never equal, but we do say, okay, the NFL is obviously the most important, the sport that's cared about the most. We always put NBA second. I want to kind of discuss, is the NBA, should they be second? Are they actually a national sport? And if you're not watching, I'm very curious as to why. We'll do that in 9:20, just about 15 minutes or so from now. Nick Nurse wins Coach of the Year award over the weekend. Congratulations to him, the head coach of the Raptors. Is he the best coach currently right now in the NBA? A lot of great coaches out there. Greg Popovich, obviously the great Steve Kerr, Doc Rivers, Eric Spoelstra, I think, is another great coach down there in Miami. Is he the best coach right now in the NBA? We'll discuss that at 9:40. Top of the second hour, 10 o'clock Eastern. The Ravens cut Earl Thomas. Two things. One that really annoyed me about how the process went about. And another thing, too, because we talked about this about a month ago. Lamar Jackson made some comments about another play, about Antonio Brown. And I want to play you for those comments again, just to refresh your memory, and show you how the Ravens just handled Earl Thomas. What happened here in cutting a player they signed to a big 4-year, $55 million deal just last year, a guy who made the Pro Bowl last year for the Ravens, and now they end up cutting him after getting in a fight. I want to show why it proves why Lamar Jackson was wrong in one aspect. To do that at 10 o'clock, 10:20. Joe Judge has got a lot of attention, head coach of the New York Giants, recently for his, let's say, interesting tactics, his different tactics. Well, if you want to say a Belichickian style so far to coaching. Will it work? Will it stick? We'll tell you what he's doing. It's definitely something I'm sure you really haven't heard of, a lot of. And we'll see if it will work with the Giants. And finally, the Sixers are swept. The process is dead. But I do want to talk more about the process overall. Philly, they were able to do the easy part, right? They got the easy part down. Didn't do it great, but they got essentially what they needed to out of tanking. But we'll show you the one fatal flaw. I'll tell you the one fatal flaw that they overlooked severely, and that is keeping them from being a championship-level team. So we'll do that to end the show, 10:40 Eastern. But like I said, no other place to start right now. Insane playoff so far for the Mavericks star, Luka Doncic. Another incredible game last night. Another incredible game, I should say, against a Clippers team that prides itself on defense, that has great defenders, lengthy, rangy, athletic defenders in Paul George, in Kawhi Leonard, in really throughout their entire team. They pride themselves on defense. That is their really founding principle. And that's how they are built. But yet again, last night, Luka Doncic, 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists. Joins Michael Jordan as the only player to at least score 40 points in a playoff series and then hit the buzzer beater while trailing to win the game. Not to mention, let's just keep the accolades coming. Youngest player to record a 40-point playoff triple-double, of course, at 21 years old. And, by the way, doing all this, having all the success, hitting that game-winning three in overtime on a sprained ankle and without his running mate, Kristaps Porzingis. Two minor details. He missed a lot of Game 3. When he turned that ankle, it looked pretty bad. Couldn't put any weight on it. And then just before Game 4, Kristaps Porzingis scratched, sore right knee, didn't play. Really, this two in the 1-2 punch with Luka and KP didn't play, and that's okay. Put the team on his back. led the Mavericks, a young team, a feisty team, and was able to, again, now even the series at 2 games apiece. With the Clippers team that, at least for me, last week, if you heard the show, they are my finals favorite. They are the team I have above the Lakers, I have above the Bucks, and above everybody else as a favorite to win the finals right now down in the bubble. So I want to kind of discuss Luka himself, Luka the player, and what we're going on. Because he is, again, 21 years old. Second year in the league, there is a lot of potential still there. So I'll ask this question. What is his ceiling? Because to me, you watch not only just this game yesterday, you watch kind of his first 2 years in the league, how he's developed, how he's carried himself, what his skill set is like. There is potential, and it's not outlandish, to start talking about him being the guy to take the torch from LeBron James as the greatest player in the NBA, just like LeBron did when he got to his peak, taking over from Michael Jordan. Right? For the most part, every decade kind of has their player that stamps their legacy is the guy to beat. And we've had LeBron James now for 2 decades, really, be that guy, and obviously be in the conversation for greatest player of all time. But Luka, again, 2 years in, so there's still a lot we don't know, and a lot of room for improvement, by the way. But to me, he possesses 2 real key traits in his game already that could put him, and it already does put him on the path, to take that torch from LeBron whenever LeBron retires. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, however long. You know, LeBron has talked about trying to play with his son. So maybe he's around for, 4, 5, 6 more years. Who knows? We'll see with LeBron. But the point is right now, I think Luka's the guy in an NBA, in a league filled with a lot of young talent, a lot of transcendent, exciting players coming up, having success. To me, Luka, again, the 2 traits he has to really kind of be on that track to take over LeBron, number one is skill set. And again, he is 21 years old. This is the second year in the NBA. But already, he has a smooth three-point shot. And we saw that yesterday a lot with him drilling threes over the Clippers. He can drive to the basket. He has a solid mid-range game. His step-back jumper is incredible. But not just that, not just his ability to score. Because we have a lot of players in the NBA that can do that. Devin Booker is a guy that can score any night. Whoever's on him, he can score. We see Donovan Mitchell now going off. 2 50-point games in one series for Donovan Mitchell with the Jazz. There is a ton of young talent that can score. But here's what I'm talking about with the skill set. His passing skills, Luka's passing skills already, 2 years in, are impeccable. Incredible. His vision on the court, his ability to drive in, suck the defense in, and know, while doing that, which guy's going to be open. Guy in the corner. Maybe it's up at the top of the key. Maybe it's on the wing. It's all calculated with him. And this is skills that a 21-year-old shouldn't have. And since we're talking about LeBron, since we're talking about Luka taking the torch potentially from LeBron, what if we look at LeBron? I mean, let's just not pretend he came into the league and was automatically the greatest player right then and there. He was still very raw. His passing skills, the first 4, 5, 6 years with with the Cavaliers, weren't anywhere close to what Luka's skills are right now. Remember how long it took LeBron James to get a solid and consistent jump shot, let alone three-pointer? I mean, it really took him to getting to the Heat for him to actually refine and get a consistent jump shot where he was a threat. Because that was really the way to guard LeBron for his first tenure in Cleveland. He is massive. He is athletic as hell, so he can beat you on the dribble. He can body you down low. So if LeBron got ahead of steam, you're in trouble. But the thing with LeBron was, if you made him settle for jump shots, if you kept him on the outside, he would struggle. He couldn't consistently knock down the shot. But that's not the case already with Luka. Already, Luka Doncic has a consistent jump shot, can hit it from anywhere on the floor, consistently shooting threes, is a real threat from the outside, and creates his own shot. Not to mention, again, his passing skills, his vision on the court already for a player 2 years in the league are impeccable. So he already has a massive advantage at his age than LeBron did when he was 21. Now, again, one thing Luka will never have that LeBron has is that extreme athleticism. Right? LeBron is 6'9", essentially a linebacker with incredible speed. He can body centers. He can blow by guards. He has a skill set and a body that is 1 in a million. Never be duplicated. And that allows him to have certain skills that cannot, that other players just can't possess. But you look at the real talent already. 2 years in, Luka has LeBron beat. He has LeBron beat. So the skill set to me, having the overall skill set, right? Because again, there's a lot of great young players that can score, that are just pure scorers, that can get their shot, that can drill a three, that can drive to the hole. But it's the other skills. It's the passing. It's the vision that make the difference so far at this young age. 2, the other skill set I think he has that, or the other trait I should say, Luka has so far, is his mindset. And this is the perfect example. This series alone is the perfect example of the strong-willed mindset that winners have. He doesn't get rattled. He doesn't get intimidated. He doesn't let players get in his head. Because essentially already, that's what the Clippers have been trying to do. You had Montrezl Harrell say some things he shouldn't have said. They got into it in Game 3. It got chippy. And what happened in Game 4? Luka comes back, and especially in the big moments in the fourth quarter and overtime, makes shot after shot after shot. And what does he do after that, making that shot? Stares right at the Clippers bench. Stares right into their soul and says, someone stop me. Because right now, no one is. Staring, think about that. A 21-year-old going against a team filled with veterans, a team with veterans that have championship experience. We have Doc Rivers as the coach. Incredible pedigree championship coach. Kawhi Leonard. 2-time Finals MVP. Best two-way player in the league. Paul George, obviously extremely skilled and talented. You have this Clippers core, have great playoff experience last year, have great rapport, very experienced. And here he is dissecting, no matter who's on him, dissecting his defense, scoring at will, and then letting them know about it. I'm here. Someone stop me. So again, having that, that killer mindset where someone gets under his skin, he uses that motivation. Kind of like Michael Jordan. Obviously, again, not at the same level. But it's like if someone wrongs him, or if they want to really, get intense, he'll get intense and he'll play better. We've seen players kind of try to they try to do too much. They get overzealous. They try to take every shot. They try to make play hero ball essentially, play 1 versus 5 to try to stick a point to it's a player, a coach, a team. And sometimes that, that's to the detriment of the overall team. They don't get the win. Now we kind of saw with Russell Westbrook in OKC. Kevin Durant leaves, goes to the Warriors. Russell Westbrook feels hurt. And instead now he kind of, to take his anger out or maybe to show that Kevin Durant made the wrong decision, he played hero ball. Get every rebound, make the assists, score as many points as possible. Obviously had the most triple-doubles in NBA history for a season. Won the MVP, but look how far the Thunder got. Eliminated in the first round. Sometimes that anger, that motivation that players have could be to the detriment of the team, but instead, Luka channels it for good. Makes the team around him better. Takes his game to the next level. Again, not to mention, mindset-wise, 2 built-in excuses were already there for him. We didn't even know if he was going to play. It was a game-time decision for Game 4. Right? That was a scary injury he had in Game 3. We weren't sure what his health was going to be, what the health of his ankle is. So you could have blamed a bad game on that. And again, his 1-2 punch, the second player, Kristaps Porzingis, out. And out right before the game. You're not supposed, the Mavericks aren't supposed to be in this series anyway. Let alone when you miss one of your best players. So the mindset, the skill set for me are the 2 traits that Luka possesses at just 21 years old. Just his second year in the league. That's why he's on the path right now, I believe. Take that torch from LeBron James whenever LeBron James retires, steps out of the limelight, and Luka Doncic, the phenom down in Dallas, the star, is poised to be the next face of the NBA. There's a lot of young talent, like I said. Jason Tatum. You have Trae Young, obviously, in that big trade with the Hawks. Devin Booker, who I mentioned. John Moran, Zion Williamson. There's a ton of young talent up and coming this league. I like all those guys. To me, Luka already has the most polished, versatile skill set of anyone. And part of the reason why LeBron James elevated to the best player in the game and one of the best players overall in NBA history is because of that overall skill set. For his shooting, for his driving, for his defense, for his passing, for his vision on the court, for his mental status. All elite. I think Luka right now is on the path to greatness, and he is on the path right now to be the best player in the NBA in a few years.